Hi there, is Frank around? The first name terms approach. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today, in day number 78 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about the first name terms approach. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link below to get access to an additional 17 strategies that are not shared in this training. So look, fundamentally, with the first name terms approach, if you've already watched training number 77, then you'll have seen the I'm a friend approach. So in many respects, it's partially a repeat as well as a continuation of that. So if you are on first name terms with someone, it means you've moved from really an acquaintance to becoming a friend. And that's really what we're trying to underline here, that when you're mates with somebody, you tend to use their first name. So it's like, oh, hey, is Rich around? So fundamentally, anytime you get onto a call, get into the mindset, potentially, depending upon the prospect, that it's someone who you're friends with. And then you can just go for the first name terms approach, which is, hello, is Jim around by any chance? Hi there, is Jim there? Oh yeah, is Jim about? So that kind of language is really going to work. And fundamentally, it also, and this is where there's a continuation or a development of it from the I'm a friend approach, you can also use the first name or a contraction of the first name when you are pitching. So you could start with formal, hi there, can I speak to Richard, please? And then when you get onto a call with Richard, depending upon his character and demeanor, you can move from Richard to, yeah, so Rich, basically so do you see how the move from Richard to Rich could be the way that you would talk to a prospect? And it moves from a little bit of a place of formality to friendliness. And that's through the first name terms approach. So Margaret could be Maggie, Stuart could be Stu, Paul could be Paul, because some names don't change. And it's just about looking at where that's a possibility. So a good example is in my team, no one calls me Deepak. Everyone calls me D, and people that don't know me call me Deepak. And when someone's friendly with me, they call me D. And that's what happens typically within my business. So that's a good insight or way to think about it. Patrick could be Pat. Now, naturally, some people don't like being addressed in that way. And there's this adage about, to be safe, don't contract someone's name. But we're not here in the business to be safe. We're here in the business to set up appointments. And with that in mind, you want to go for the contraction, because more often than not, a lot of these people do live by the contraction. So if your name is, for example, Richard, then Rich is probably quite typical of the way that your friends would call you. And if someone's annoyed with you, they call you Richard. If you have a name such as Daniel, Dan would be a good contraction. So I hope that makes sense, that you open with the hey, is Rich around, as discussed in training number 77, the I'm a friend approach, but then it develops through the call. And to be honest with you, those two don't even need to work together. When you move from someone who's, for example, quite bubbly and open, like the receptionist, to then someone who's serious, and it requires, for example, a bit of a step change or the inverse. So you can move between the two depending upon the mood of the person that you're talking to. And where you feel it's appropriate, you could say, yeah, so Rich, but be sure when you do it, you've got the tonality to accompany it. Because if you're, for example, using a formal voice, you'd say, so Rich, what I'm trying to communicate, perhaps not that effectively. Whereas if I said, yeah, Rich, so probably what I'm trying to communicate, clearly not very effectively. Do you see the difference between the two in terms of the tonality, and how the tonality can determine the outcome of that conversation? And that's a key difference here with the first name terms approach, that you want to differentiate the way that your tone, because your tone can not mirror, or rather your tone, if your tone doesn't match what you say, then it clashes. So be mindful of the two, and just pick your moments when you want to slip into the first name terms approach. So there you have it, guys, the first name terms.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.